Hello again, everyone, and welcome. We are the Vinyl Community Guncles here today to discuss the best and worst songs of 19 or albums too of 1974, or as we like to call them, the tops and bottoms of the year. So thank you so much for joining us. We are the Vinyl Community Guncles. I'm Robert Fithen, along with Craig from Craig's Vinyl Plethora, Richard from Calvin Wazoo, and ladies and gentlemen, the man who's sure to have Captain and Tennille's Love Will Keep Us Together on his top list, even though it's
That's
from 1975. Mike from Hub Tunes.
I love Muskrat Love.
It's not on there.
Oh no, I don't have any Captain and Tennille. But man, we had to watch that Captain and Tennille show every Sunday night. My mother, we talked about
Oh
this.
my gosh, I remember they had a show. Oh,
Yeah, I never
God.
watched.
My mother made us watch that every Sunday. My mother loved variety shows. She's still alive. She loved variety shows in the set. It's Sonny and Cher, Captain and Tennille, all of them. Tony Orlando and Dawn.
Oh,
Do
they
you
were the
remember a band from the 80s
Share
called the
pieces.
Surf Punks?
No.
best. Oh,
No.
Yeah.
That featured Daryl Dragon's either son or brother. And then it was two guys. It was the captain's son or brother, and then the other guy was like the brother or son of Gavin MacLeod, who was the captain of the Love Boat.
Right.
So you had two
Yeah.
captain offsprings or
You showed
relatives.
that record on one of
Yeah.
your videos,
I
right?
just
Yeah.
thought that was a
yeah.
really strange coincidence. Anyway,
Oh, turn your goddamn
We're
alarm off.
we're talking about 19. I wish I could turn this cat off. We're
What is
talking
going
about 1974 and not the 80s.
What is going on?
It's
Well,
a
I'll
mess.
go
This is
first.
going to be an absolute mess. I don't have hardly any records pulled.
You're
In 1974, I could have had a stack of 100 records, but
Take us
If
down
you had
memory
pulled
lane.
100 records, you would have had to put 100 records away. So I only pulled 15. I could have done a lot more. Oh, I did have a couple of honorable mentions. Oh shit, where are they? Sheer Heart Attack by Queen. That's a great Queen record, man. His
Yeah.
guitar work on that is freaking unbelievable. The Meters, Rejuvenation. That's their album with Hey Pocky Way on it. There you go. What a great record that is. I think that's probably one of the first Queen records I ever heard. There you go. Oh wait, I had that. Why didn't I pull that? Fuck. But that's got Hey Pocky Way on it.
Right.
Great fucking song. And then Sparks, Kimono My House is another one which I could not find. I own it somewhere, but I could not find it. This actually, I just bought this on Friday, and I love this band. And this is the reissue of Feet Don't Fail Me Now, Little Feat. Probably the first Little Feat album I ever listened to, and it's a great record. Rock and Roll Doctor and Oh Atlanta, and just Skin It Back is on here. Cold, Cold, Cold. Great record. Rhino did a really nice job with this. I am so glad I don't have to deal with that mailer bullshit that I see people complaining about. I picked this up at my local, and it's perfectly fine. No corner dings, nothing. Love that record.
that was my first Little Feat album, too.
Yeah, it's great. It's probably my second. I like Dixie Chicken better, but that's a close second. I mean, you can't argue with their first 4 records. This is a record I bought a couple of months ago. Really didn't know it. I have some of his records, and they're all kind of hit or miss. But this is Billy Preston, The Kids and Me. This is the one that has the big hit, Nothing for Nothing.
Nothing from nothing leaves
But
nothing.
the whole album is really good. I was surprised.
Had to do something. Motherfucker punched you in the mouth.
Ow.
It's great. It's great.
You're going to get that reference.
I don't.
It's a terrific record. Most of his records are kind of hit or miss. So highly recommend it. And I bought it for like $5. It was super cheap.
Oh, good bargain.
Yeah.
Bargain beast.
Really bad
This
cover art. It makes it look like it's a children's record.
It
I
kinda
think that's why
does,
it
yeah.
wasn't as successful as it was.
Probably because
Mm.
it's terrific. It's just a really good record, a good R&B record. This is kind of when Fleetwood Mac is starting to become that '70s Fleetwood Mac, and it's got one of my favorite Chrissy McVie songs, and that's "Heroes Are Hard to Find." Just a wonderful, wonderful song.
Speaking
She was
of
my
bad,
favorite. Huh?
Speaking of bad album covers, what in the hell is going on that album cover?
Yeah, that's quite frightening.
Mick, Mick being Mick.
With a bunch of little kids.
Yeah,
backwards.
that's creepers.
There's a lot of good songs. I mean, obviously, it's not like the classics. It's got Silver Heels on it. and Bermuda Triangle is on here because this is the Welch years. He was still in the band, and I like this era. It's a pretty good era. 1974.
Yes. Yep.
I tell people this reminds me of Exile on Main Street, Rolling Stones. This has a great, just gritty, raw rock and roll feel to it. Great record. These are reissued. You can get all their albums are reissued now, and you can find them for like $20. Yeah, they sound great. Ramsey Lewis. This is probably his most popular record. Really good. Kind of almost getting into that disco funk. It's on record. This is called what is it called? Sun Goddess. I normally don't do live records when we do this, but I mean you have to, right?
We
You
giggle.
gotta put
Oh
this
yeah,
on.
this rock and roll animal, man. Oh fuck.
One of the great live records of all time. It's just absolutely wonderful. We've talked about this before. My favorite ELO album, and I got a bunch of MoFis right in a row here. Actually, 3 of them. El Dorado, ELO's great album. I love this record. A lot of people like the one with the saucer on it. What is that? Around the World or Out of the
Blue.
Out of the
Blue.
But
Yeah.
this is an
They're
awesome.
all
And a
great.
great
All those
cover.
70s albums from them around that period.
They're all
I mean,
Yes.
Face the Music and
Yeah.
what was the other
Face
one?
The Music is good.
A
That's
New
the one
World
with
Record?
Fire on
Yeah.
High is on Face the Music. I love that.
Yeah.
But this is probably my favorite overall as far as like an entire album.
I have that on a burned CD, but I don't have it on vinyl.
And I don't ever want to hear "Can't Get It Out of My Head" without hearing the El Dorado intro. I don't like the greatest hits where they don't have the.
They don't have it
intro to
on
that.
there. Yeah, it
Yeah.
needs to be part of it. Yeah, you're right. One of my favorite and very underrated Grateful Dead records. This is from the Mars Hotel, 50th anniversary. Actually, I think I'm going to avoid it. It's just a new version of this, and the MoFi sounds great. But this is a great record. Yeah, I mean, this has "Ship of Fools" and my favorite Grateful Dead song, "China Doll." This is just a wonderful record.
Oh my
A lot
God,
of
U.S. Blues is.
U.S. Blues is on here. Yeah,
That's great.
Scarlet Begonias is on there.
Yeah.
But people don't talk about this record all that much when they talk about.
No,
Grateful
and
Dead
it's
records.
really, it is. I agree.
It's been that way forever.
It's in my tops.
I think it's
Yeah,
my
I love-
favorite '70s Grateful Dead. Well, I guess American Beauty's actually from my
Technically,
favorite
it's-
mid '70s.
Did, yeah.
Yeah, my favorite post Warner Brothers Grateful Dead album. How about that?
Yeah, because
But
this
yeah,
is all on their own label.
Yeah, the new reissues. One of the versions is that zoetrope thing where you're supposed to put the record on and
I
it
saw
makes
that.
Yeah.
a Blur killed me with that. No more of that. You have to have a phone app to.
No interest. No. Yeah, I'll probably skip the reissue, but I say that, and then I'll go to the record store tomorrow and buy it.
Right.
But I don't need it because that MoFi sounds great. So I don't like do it.
Dead
this
Set
is-
and Reckoning are coming out in reissues too. Like
Yeah,
later this
Reckoning I
month.
will probably pick up because
Yeah, I'll
I
get
don't have a
Reckoning.
good copy of.
I have Reckoning on CD, and that is such a great.
Yeah, it's great. This is an album that I really didn't like for a long time, but I've revisited it, and it's pretty damn good. And that's Bob Dylan's Planet Waves. Kind of got panned at the time, and maybe for good reason. But in history, I like it. It got very panned, but I do like it. I like it a lot. Probably my favorite Bowie of the Berlin trilogies, and that's Diamond Dogs. I mean, what a great.
Berlin.
Is it? No, this is not part of the trilogy. Is it?
This is before. This is
the one
before.
right before. Yeah, he put Berlin right.
But
after.
that is such a great album.
It's the best of that era of Bowie. I just love this.
Check
It
out our
rocks.
Bowie ranking video.
It's a rock and
pretty
roll
good.
album. It's great. We talked about
This
this album.
genocide.
It's great. Funkadelic, Standing on the Verge. Oh wait, I pulled the wrong one. Never mind.
Okay, he pulled the wrong one.
That's
the
my
wrong one.
favorite Funkadelic song, probably album too.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
Brian Eno leaves Roxy Music, and Roxy Music kind of. I don't like post Eno
exactly
stuff.
my thoughts too.
Yeah, I mean some of it's okay, but you can keep Avalon. That sucks.
Yeah.
But he leaves Roxy Music and makes this great album. Here Come the Warm Jets. It's awesome record. This is a reissue that came out a couple of years ago. It sounds incredible. They've reissued all his early stuff. Probably still in print. Great record.
When did Avalon come out?
83?
82?
I was going to say
When we were
81.
doing the albums of 82, I said something negative about Avalon and got a bad comment. We'll see if Mike gets a bad comment this time. My money's on he doesn't, because we just give those to Robert.
It really kind of sucks. It's a great
terrible.
sounding
it's not
record.
very good. It's like light rock kind of. It
I
is kind of
love
inventive, but then what it invents
It's
is
yacht
not
rock.
very good.
It's like yacht rock.
Right, yeah.
It's
soft rock. But it is
Soft rock,
ahead of its time, but that its time is terrible. So
yeah, it's a beautiful.
That's the only
sound
Roxy
record.
Music album I own. So. I love it.
oh, for God's sake!
Well, whatever.
Shuggy Otis. This is inspiration. This is a reissue. This is a great record. All these Shuggy Otis records. The purple one. That's awesome. I actually like that one better. But just instrumental, terrific guitarist, absolutely wonderful. It's on clear, splattered kind of vinyl.
Pretty.
Great records. Another album we've talked about on this channel, Betty. Yeah.
Oh, was that 1970?
What's it called? They Say I'm Different. Fucking different and fucking awesome. I mean, great record, great cover, just terrific stuff. I used to love this record when I was in high school because I was a big Genesis fan. I just loved Peter Gabriel's Genesis, and this was I don't think it holds up. It's got its moments. It's got its great songs. But The Lamb Lies Down on Broadway.
Yeah.
It's a little bloated. It's a little bloated. The story doesn't really make all that much sense. But man, some of the highlights are so good. It's really good. Nursery Crime is my favorite album of theirs in the early years. But man, when this is good, it's great. But then it just kind of loses me at a lot of points. But man, I played this over and over when I was in high school and college. Love this record.
I like their self-titled one.
With that black cover?
With the toys
the one with the stupid little shapes on it. And
Oh, that one. I thought you were talking about like their day.
doing that to get me going.
No, the good one.
I'm not going to take the bait. I'm not taking the bait.
That is my favorite, though.
It is.
He's kid.
I am not.
Early 70s, Eric Clapton decides to not be a guitar god anymore, and he decides to be a singer-songwriter. This is actually a pretty good record. This has Motherless Children on it, and it's actually a pretty decent record. A couple of reggae covers. Gimme Strength. This has Willie and the Hand Jive, which it's all right. I Shot the Sheriff.
I was born to hand jive.
Mainline Florida is probably the best song. But I mean, of his singer-songwriter period, this might be the best. This or the first solo record. Not a huge fan. And one of my favorite albums from 1974 is the great Joni Mitchell, Court and Spark. This is my favorite Joni Mitchell record. I know everyone loves Blue.
The blue one.
I love this record. I don't care. She kind of goes a little poppy, and obviously, clearly her most successful record. I love it. This is the one with "Help Me" on it, and "Free Man in Paris," and that was a motorcycle.
Joni Mitchell could go pop all she wants.
She could do whatever she wants.
She shows her sense of humor on that one, where she doesn't so much on Blue. That's one of the reasons I love that album so much.
Yep.
Because she can be really funny.
Is
that the one where she's the girl who gets drunk and goes under the table? What is that song called? They didn't realize I'm a genius. It's like at the end of one of the sides.
It's not Car in the Same Situation?
No.
Trouble Child.
No. Maybe it's not on that
name
one.
them all?
It's
But it's a great record.
It's
It's
one
Measles.
word, like deranged or strange or something like that. It's probably not on that one, but yeah, those
Twisted?
kind of twisted. Yes.
yeah. It's the
Yeah.
last song on side 2. Yeah, but great record, just great record, and I just love this. And that's it. That's all I got.
Little money
That's
riding on the maple leaves. Is that on there?
I've never heard a Joni Mitchell record ever.
Oh my
But I know
God.
you're
I
not
think you would
surprised.
like Courtney.
But you of all
wait a
people?
minute. What? I just
Yeah, I've
I
never-
just realized who said that.
Yeah,
I know.
I mean, I
Okay,
know
first
some
of
of her
all, you would love
songs.
Blue.
Yeah.
I mean, why? I
Actually-
mean, wow. And then you might even like Court and Spark. But yeah, why Blue now?
She's right up your alley.
I've been thinking about it. I just have never like. I know some of her songs, but I've never heard an.
The Blue album is full of introspective songs about relationships, but they're smartly written.
Yeah.
So it's like the songs that you like, but imagine them as good songs.
Fuck
That's
you.
the Joni Mitchell Blue album.
Uncles are fired up.
Oh
Today.
yeah.
Wow. Well, you
That
know
is
what?
surprising. That you need to check out Joni.
Yeah.
I've always meant.
Start
to.
with Court and Spark or Blue. Those are her 2 best. She's got other great albums, but those are probably the best.
I'm not so much into that Don Juan one. I don't care for that
That's
one.
not my favorite. Yeah, I don't like
Yeah,
that one.
I skipped that one.
I do like the one that gets jazzy with Paco.
Mingus?
Yeah, is that Mingus? Yeah, it's Mingus.
Yeah.
Oh, Mingus.
I like some of that.
We've done that one.
What's the one about hissing or
The Summer Lawns?
Hissing Snakes.
summer? Yeah, that's a good
Yeah.
one.
Blue. Craig would like Blue.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Why are we always blue?
I think it's because I've always been told that like I should have it, and you know me, like if I'm told I should have
Oh,
something,
passive
I should have it.
aggressive.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
know,
I think
I'm
a lot of us are like that.
I'm-
If something
I'm
is
not-
forced on it, keeps telling you, "Oh my God, it's awesome," then you just have a reaction to be like, "Okay, I'm not. It can't be that awesome. I'm going to be disappointed, so I'm not even going to bother."
Yeah, we all do.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so it's me time.
It's you.
All right, I have 5 honorable mentions and a top 13 because I like to be different. So,
And these are singles, right?
yes. So I just want to mention it because it truly is one of the greatest love songs ever written, and it came out this year. And so I do have to mention Dolly with I Will Always Love You. It even says featuring I Will Always Love You on the Jolene. Look at that. So beautiful.
The Whitney Houston song.
Yes, the Whitney Houston. Don't get me started. Don't get me revved up because, ooh. Now, Whitney made that song, whatever Whitney did, but this.
Yeah.
She went.
Yeah, this is where that song is at. You have
love it 'cause
raw
that first-
emotion.
The person in the Hedwig and the Angry Inch when that other woman in the trailer park is singing on a loop. That song. Anyway, sorry for the
I haven't
distraction.
seen that in a really long time. I actually saw that
so
live too. Jinx Monsoon was Hedwig. Okay, Sugar Billy with Super Duper Love. Are you digging me?
Sugar Billy.
Sugar Billy. You gotta know Super Duper Love.
That's
Nobody-
that's got to be a hustler.
Yeah, that's. What's her name? Missy Elliott did a.
No,
sample
no,
of it, right?
she's Super Duper Fly.
Oh, okay.
Not Super Duper Love. Are you
Super
digging
Duper Love
me?
is Exile.
Sugar Billy, Super Duper Love. Are you digging me?
I just like that name, Sugar Billy.
Nobody knows Sugar Billy.
No.
That's because he
Wow.
closed up shop long ago.
Okay, I actually think that every single person on this panel would like that song. So look it up.
Probably, yeah.
It's good. Ooh, girl. Okay.
I'm looking it up right now.
Yes.
Helen Reddy with Angie Baby. Now this song, she's a special lady.
Oh my
So-
gosh.
So what I'm gathering from the song, there's a peeping Tom, then they go to a club, then she kills him, then she goes to a mental ward. Is that kind of like, or am I just hearing
I think it's
things
so
wrong.
widely open for interpretation.
Yeah.
I mean,
And
the
then
radio eats him, and then she goes
Yeah.
into the. Yeah, I think
Yeah,
she's
and
just.
uh,
Her imagination is just the song,
she's
and she's
all over the place.
just.
But yeah, he's peeping
mentally
through the
ill.
window, and then there's Dan, and then he's dead or something.
They
I
did.
don't know. Yeah,
Definitely did.
Angie Baby, she's a special lady. All right. Tanya Tucker with The Man That Turned My Mama On. Oh, I actually have look, there's Miss Tanya.
Love her.
We'll talk about that song a little bit later on again
Oh,
I know.
with a special
Miss-
guest.
The special guest. Okay. And then we have I might get some shit for this, but I don't care. I love their version of this. Carly Simon and James Taylor with Ma
Oh wow!
Bird. Yeah. I love it. It's so terrible. It's good. Look at these faces. I've succeeded. All right.
It is better than the Toby Keith version. I will give
Oh.
you that.
after
Toby
you've
Keith?
succeeded, then spit it out.
Toby Keith did. I don't want to know.
Yeah.
I just like the Carly and Jay. I mean, the other one is better, obviously, the original.
That was a hit.
Yeah. So now we're in number 13. Song originally was from 1961, and then it was Belgium. It was called Le Moribond, The Dying Man. And then it was translated into English by Rod McEwen, and that's Terry Jacks with Seasons in the Sun.
Oh.
We had joy, we had fun,
We had seasons in the sun.
and I actually listened to. I heard it years ago, but I listened to the Jacques Brel version from 1961. There's a lot of horns and stuff in it, but it's Belgian, so I think that's Spanish. I don't know. Number 12 would be Benny and the Jets. Bum, bum, ba-dum, bum. Benny.
The
Oh,
song
was
that put
great. That
Elton
was
John on the R&B charts, and got him
Really?
a performance on Soul Train. Fun
Really?
facts.
Wow.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Elton, with your Soul Train. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a great song. I remember that in high school. It was a
Yeah.
great fucking song.
It's one of my
Still is a
favorite.
great fucking song.
It is really good. It is really. That's a good album. Not my favorite Elton John album, but it's
No?
no. That would be Captain Fantastic and the Brown Dirt Cowboy.
Yeah. That's probably my favorite too.
Hands
I like
down.
Honky
favorite
Chateau
album.
also.
What?
I like Honky Chateau also.
I don't know that I've heard all of that. One.
Everything up to Yellow Brick Road. Those are all the good ones. After Yellow Brick
Yeah,
Road,
there's
it was
some
kinda-
good ones after
No,
that. You
Piano
shut
Player,
them out.
Don't Shoot Me is great.
Yeah,
Um,
that's good.
I
There's
mean,
some
I'm
good
not
ones.
that familiar with like Caribou, but a lot of people like that one.
A lot
I
of
think a lot of
came
people
out
think
in-
Caribou is where, after that one, is where you want to.
Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe.
I
That
mean,
was
but then you
74,
have
actually,
Victim
right?
of Love and Leather Jackets. I mean, that's brilliant.
Yeah.
It's not.
Caribou
I'm
has
lying.
Bitches Back.
I'm lying. But I mean, you
Yeah,
have,
that's
I
the
mean,
first song.
I'm sorry, Wrap Her Up, greatest song ever written. So then at number 11 would be Dolly with Love is Like a Butterfly. As soft
Look at her.
and gentle as a
Look
sigh.
at her.
Look at her in that butterfly that is
Those
glamorous.
multicolor wings are like the. Oh, what
Church
the hell's it
windows?
like? No.
I love
The
that
multicolored moods of love are like those wings.
Mm-hmm. It's soft and gentle as a sigh.
The
Like
a
multicolored
Paul
moods of
Moriarty
love, so
album
like
cover.
satin wings. I've always loved that, whatever that
Oh
is. That
gosh,
sound.
it's so great. Yes, it's so love it so much. All right, number 10.
Oh.
Donnie and Marie with I'm Leaving It All Up to You.
Wow.
Their debut album before they had their television show. I'm leaving it all up to you. Don't you look at
Is this
that.
after Crazy Horses?
Yeah,
Okay.
I believe so. Look at
No, that's
Um,
before. That's got to be before Crazy Horse.
No,
Yeah,
Crazy
that's
Crazy
73.
Horses was like 72.
Yeah.
73?
73.
Oh, I thought.
Crazy. That's different.
But that's the Osmonds. This is Donnie and Marie.
This is
Right,
Donnie
right,
and
but-
Marie yes.
doing a cover of a Dale and Grace song.
which is good as well, but that was the
Dolce
first
and
one I ever
Gabbana.
heard. Okay. All right. Number 9, another tragic tale, because we all know I love my tragic tale.
You do.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. She goes and gets her cards read and then finds out that the woman is with her man and then she kills him. Yeah, Cher. Dark Lady laughed and danced and lit the candles one by one. Yes.
That's a
Oh my
total gay. You go into any straight bar and no one will do anything. You go into a gay bar and that plays on Tupac's and the whole fucking bar goes.
Oh yeah. Oh, I was because we've discussed how I do playlists.
That's how you know you're home.
And I'm standing in my doorway and I'm listening to it and I just and you could hear it echo through the whole like I'm like, oh, somebody be like, what's going on over there? Keep clapping.
And Dark Lady is the only song you need off of this album. You don't need.
Yeah,
well, maybe Train of
Yeah,
Thought,
I'm
but-
hoping to maybe just find a good like comp that has
Yeah.
like gypsies, tramps, and thieves and Dark Lady.
She's got an early
Oh.
one of like 12
Yeah.
greatest hits. That's got the
what
70s.
I need. Yeah,
that's all
I
anybody
don't
needs
have
from that
any
era.
70s share on
From any
vinyl,
era.
unfortunately.
Yeah.
Okay, number 8. Shirley and Company with Shame, 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 Shame. Shame on you.
Yeah.
Oh, so that's
If you can't
that's what I
dance
need.
too.
Ooh, I said shame, 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 shame. So
Okay,
good.
so you know that song, right? Have you ever seen a performance of that song?
What?
Okay. The guy singing with her, you know, I got my diamond in the back. Put on a shaggy wig, woman, if you know I ain't coming back. That guy's white.
Oh,
Watch the. I think it's Top of the Pops they're on.
I will look that up. I don't. Yeah,
It's
I don't know.
insane.
Because
Yeah, the company is white.
Hmm.
And Shirley is somebody that who is that? That's she had another song and I never put the two together. But she's somebody that's with some earlier, I can't remember what it
Is that
now.
her name? Is that her real name?
Well, we're gonna look up Shirley and
Shirley?
Company right now.
Yeah, no, I thought that song was by somebody else.
No.
Well, Shame. There's a song called "Shame" by Champagne Evelyn Champagne.
Evelyn
King.
Evelyn
Champagne
Champagne
King.
King, right?
That's a different song.
Her
Oh,
name
it's
is
a different
Shirley
song. Okay.
Goodman.
That's who I was thinking it was. Because I love me Evelyn Champagne King.
Shame.
I'm on
Okay,
Okay,
that's just one shame. This is shame,
Shirley
shame,
May
shame.
Goodman.
Shame, shame, shame.
That's
Just said
shame.
Oh,
Um,
That's Aretha
Yeah,
Franklin.
great.
her name's Shirley May Goodman. And there you go. I couldn't find anything else. Okay. So where are we at? Number 7. Ooh, so good. Can I sit next to you, girl? AC. I was just a jam and driving. I was speeding.
Look at you with an AC/DC album.
I have like 4 or 5 or 6 of
You
them.
really?
Yeah, I have a lot of AC/DC. I grew
Oh
up
my
with
God.
that shit. My oldest brother, favorite band, AC/DC. I grew AC/DC, Guns N' Roses. I heard all that shit growing up.
Sorry about that.
Hey, it's nothing to be sorry about Guns N' Roses.
No, yeah.
Although, like the 5th or 6th time that he got married, him and his lovely bride wearing Guns N' Roses hats and Guns N' Roses t-shirts, walking down the aisle to "You Need a Little Patience," like that's a dream come true. We videoed it for him. Unfortunately, we couldn't give him that video because my brother and I were laughing hysterically. But that's a beautiful moment. So see, Guns N' Roses, good on
that's
you.
got to be a Mormon wedding that needs to be immortalized in film.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well,
in
absolutely.
some movie of some kind.
This is my alcoholic brother, so like, I mean, yeah, he was also had his like whiskey and or whatever.
So that
And
makes
All right.
sense.
smoking his cigarettes, walking down the aisle. It was classy, and he had like a red bandana on it. Yeah, like underneath his hat.
That's real
Classy.
classy,
It was a classy wedding in a backyard that the weeds had not been chopped
Was
down.
there a railroad track?
It was no, but there was dirt roads around it. So I mean, it was classy. That's I'm all about class. That's how I was raised. Thank you very much.
My
Okay.
Guns N' Roses comment now makes sense, doesn't it?
Well, that's okay. It's all glamorous. All right,
from Shirley and Company was also from Shirley and Lee, who had a hit earlier with "Come On, Baby, Let the Good Times Roll."
Oh yeah,
that's the same woman. That blew my mind when I found that out.
Like that's on the Stand By Me soundtrack.
Yeah.
I did not know that was the same. Thank you, Robert Fitton, for changing my life.
Look at that. That's how it's done here.
Number 6. Oh, he's so great. John Denver with Back Home Again. Ain't it just so grand and wonderful to be back home again? Look at his glasses and how glamorous and divine John Denver is.
That's a really good song.
Well, yes, he's dead, but
I don't remember this one.
So whenever we would go record shopping and we saw John Denver records, my friend Kim, she'd say nothing but dead.
That's terrible.
It is terrible. But that's what, so I can't. All right. I love this number. Oh, wait. No. I skipped ahead. Number 5. I love this too, though. Number 5. He's already been mentioned, but Rabble. Oh, girl, your hair's a mess.
Your dress.
Oh, your dress and your hair is a mess. Oh, girlfriend. Number 4. I love her version of it. It's so great. It's originally a Van Morrison song, but Martha Reeves' cover of Wild Nights. So good. Y'all heard it?
No, I don't think I have.
A long time ago. Yeah.
It's so good. So good. Better than
She had a
it.
great voice.
Number 3. She's a dancing machine. Watch it get down. Watch it get there. Oh, Jackson 5 with Dancing Machine. So, that makes me boogie.
That music breakdown and that is really cool.
Oh,
It's a great song.
Oh, yeah, I just...
It is a great song.
Yes. Thank you, ma'am. All right, number 2. So good. Sparks. With This Town Ain't Big Enough for the both of us. So good. There was the other one that was that. Oh, what was it called? There was another single, and I went back and forth, but this is the better of the two.
Yeah, that's
so good. And I mean, Susie's cover is pretty stellar too.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's where it's at. Number 1, and this might just be the song of the year for me because I'm not sure if it was actually a single, but I don't fucking care. Because I can make my own damn rules. But album titles, same as the song. I love it. Words cannot express how much I love it. Like, this song is like... Okay. Number 1 for me from 1974. Richard and Linda Thompson with I Want to See the Bright Lights Tonight. Oh my God, I got to get the taxi.
Wow.
I want to go out. I work so fucking hard. I just want to have some fun. I want to spend all my goddamn money. Like, I want to see the bright lights tonight.
I did not see that coming.
Oh, what this song does for my soul.
It's a terrific record.
The album is fantastic.
It's really good.
It is one of the greatest songs ever written in this bitch's opinion. Yeah. And,
they just announced,
and they brought us Teddy Thompson. I mean,
they just announced he's going to be playing up in Evanston. Really,
he just had an album like last year or earlier this year or something like that, right?
Yeah, tickets just went on. I think they go on sale tomorrow. Actually,
to be fair, I really like. He's not as great without Linda, in my opinion, but I mean, but again, they brought us Teddy, and Teddy. Ooh.
That's a great record.
Teddy. Mm-hmm. I mean, Teddy ain't no D'Angelo, but Teddy.
Oh no, he ain't no D'Angelo.
I don't know that anybody's a D'Angelo.
All right. Well, so that's Craig's singles of 1974. My albums are all these are in no particular order. I did not have any time to prepare. A lot of these have already been shown, and there's a lot of albums that I absolutely love that I'm not even going to show because I didn't have time to grab them. But, 1974, Craig already showed that. AC/DC High Voltage, which is basically more like 73 because it's from Australian albums, a lot of it. Mike showed that one. Not only is this a terrific album from Betty Davis, but it's a terrific reissue as well. Poster, booklet, sounds incredible. Tip-on jacket. This is the way all reissues should go.
Yep.
They think I'm different. If you haven't seen the Betty Davis documentary called that too, that's pretty good. Grateful Dead, Mars Hotel. We already talked about that. We already talked briefly about Rejuvenation from the Meters with Hey Pac Away. There's also Aerosmith, Get Your Wings. Didn't pull that one. That's a really good one. The second album, that's their classic, Train Kept Rollins on there. Seasons of Wither. Here's a great one. Queen, Sheer Heart Attack. I think we talked about it, but I think I was the one that showed it. But this is for me where Queen sort of begins. I'm not a really big fan of Queen 1 and 2. I mean, there's some moments on there, but whatever that prog rock they do, I'm not as into that at all. The Fairy Feller's Last Wizard. This is where it begins
that album
for me.
is straightforward rock and roll guitar.
Rock, I mean,
I always thought
absolutely.
that was their first album because
I always did
that
too.
was the beginning of Queen.
Yeah,
and it wasn't until maybe around 1978 that I go, oh, they had other albums before Sheer Heart Attack.
I love the flick of the wrist into Lily of the Valley. That's great.
Yeah.
This has Stone Cold Crazy on it. This has
so good.
Yeah, Killer Queen, Brighton Rock, and of course, bring
Right.
back that Leroy Brown for the Andrew Sisters action going on a. Is this from 74 or is this from 73? Waylon Jennings, Honky Tonk Heroes, great honky tonk and country album. Here's a great country album from Willie Nelson. Phases and Stages. This is the one that follows Shotgun Willie. He only did 2 albums on Atlantic, and they're both brilliant. Here's a guy we don't talk about very often, Jimmy Buffett. He debuted his trademark sound, I guess you'd call it, in 74 with his first sort of trademark. It's not his debut, but it is considered his debut, A1A. I bought this on CD in Florida when we were traveling on A1A. But this is a great album. Jimmy Buffett, later on, like a lot of people, becomes a self-parody. He starts off kind of, quirky and goofy, and when you start like that, you know where it's going to head. You're going to just get ridiculous and silly and whatever and annoying. But I like his early albums. I think there's a lot of good stuff on there. Is this the one with Life is Just a Tire Swing? Yes. That is a great song. A lot of great songs on there. Check out Jimmy Buffett's A1A if you only know the watered down later stuff. Showed my favorite Funkadelic album, Standing on the Verge of Getting It On. That's my favorite song too. Same year, the same people released Parliament, Up for the Downstroke. So yeah, this is really good. What's that really cool song on here about the duck or the goose? Check that out. But yeah, Up for the Downstroke's a great song. Hey, we reviewed this one, Minnie Riperton and Perfect Angel. But this is funky. This has got rock elements. It's more than just that song "Lovin' You." Check out Minnie Riperton's "Perfect Angel."
Yeah.
Loving you is beautiful. The Rolling Stones, it's only rock and roll, but I like it. Yeah, this has short and curlies on it. This is the actual, pressing, the actual record, whatever you want to say, that my mother bought me when I was sick. And she's like, well, I'm going to the store. What do you want to make you feel better? And I said, there's a record store 4 doors down from Schnucks, the grocery store. They have Rolling Stones, it's only rock and roll used for $4.99. And she was like, I was talking about like a medicine or
soup.
There it is. There's the medicine,
Mom.
That will cures all ailments.
I mean,
like raising your arms.
And this cover is done by the same person who did the Diamond Dogs cover.
Yeah.
For David Bowie.
Yes,
but yeah, This has Dance Little Sister. This has It's Only Rock and Roll. If You Can't
Yeah,
Rock
great.
Me. Time Waits for No One. It took me a while to get into that song, but once I did,
Probably the best song on there.
great song from the Rolling Stones. But I still like Short and Curlies. Bob Marley came out with one of his early albums where he's working with classic rock producers or whatever. This is Naughty Dread. This is solid all the way through. A lot of people just have Legend and then stop.
No.
But
No,
you
you don't
need some
care.
more Bob Marley in the way. There's other than just Legend. Leonard Skinner released their second album, Second Helping. This is the one with Sweet Home Alabama on it. Don't Ask Me No Questions. Swamp Music, The Needle and the Spoon, working for MCA. Call Me the Breeze. People put down Leonard Skinner because of their fans, but these are absolutely terrific musicians. I mean, this is a
Yes,
solid,
it's a
tight
great album.
rock band. I mean,
Yeah.
If I had a copy of that other than my CD copy, I would have included it.
gotta do these two. Woo, woo, woo. Kiss comes onto the scene. This is pretty good. Sonically, it's pretty awful, but there's some decent songs on there. Hotter Than Hell, that's the second one. This is the first one. This is my favorite Kiss album. I would put this up against most rock albums. Forget about if you want to, forget about the makeup, forget about the stage antics. This is a great rock album. I mean, stellar songs on here. Strutter, Deuce, my favorite Kiss song of all time, 100,000 Years is on here. Black Diamond, I would put those up against Led Zeppelin songs and Black Sabbath songs. They're incredible.
I love Strutter.
Yeah, I mean,
great
these
song.
are absolutely great. And this is the one I had growing up, and this is the one that does not have Kissin' Time on it. So if you're going to get the debut, obviously it's way expensive to get an original. Get the one without Kissin' Time, for God's sakes. It's a better listen. Sometimes
I know
less is more.
that because I've
Less
seen your
is
video.
more. I wish they would, if they want to, because Kiss is all about re-releasing and making money. Re-release that without Kissin' Time on it. People would buy it. German progressive rock at the time. The Scorpions aren't that progressive, but they came out with their second album, third album.
Is
The
that
Slide of the
Speedy's-
Rainbow. This is
Fancy cover.
yeah. I have a shirt like this, but
Yeah.
there's a song. The drummer on here.
Is that what
Jürgen
was?
Rosenthal? What's
Is that is Speedy's Coming on there?
Oh my God, that's my favorite Scorpion song of all time.
Great song.
The drumming on there, and he talks about David Bowie and all those.
It's a great
musicians.
song. I had that album in high school.
My God, what an album! But yeah, Speedy's Coming is the best Scorpion song ever. That's on there. This is a little more of the German progressive rock, or as they call it, Kosmik Musik,
Oh,
Kraftwerk, and fun on the Autobahn. It's a little more synthy than I like some of my German progressive rock, but Kraftwerk. And of course, you have the Cosmic Chokers, and you have Harmonia, and you have Can, and you have
Cam.
Buster, and Noi, and all that good stuff. I mean, if we could go on and on about German progressive rock, it's kind of taken a more synthy turn in 1974. Another thing that happens in 1974 is it's kind of like hard, raw funk music's last stand. The funk music starts to get a little more polished, going a little more R&B direction, a little more disco-y, a little more jazzy.
Yeah.
Albums from Keep What You Got from William Devon, and you got there's just so many. Magnum, the band Magnum with Fully Loaded.
Oh shit! I forgot about them.
Yeah.
I've loaded some Magnums anyway.
Not TI.
But it just starts to smooth out a little bit, and But oh my God, there's one that I'm still looking for. I mentioned it when we went on our trip to Chicago. I wanted to find it there. I still have not got Little Beaver and Party Down.
Little Beaver.
You were talking about that in every record store.
There was a really good Vinyl Me Please version, but that's super hard to find now on like orange and red splatter vinyl or something. But yeah, Little Beaver, Party Down. But there's so much great soul music and whatever still to come. But yeah, it starts to go more in a smoother kind of R&B, gets away from the sound I like a little bit in 74. In one of those Vinyl Community 20 questions videos, they ask you your favorite, if you absolutely can only listen to one decade of music for the rest of your life. And people were thinking, 60s and I want to hear the 70s. No, for me it would be the 80s. But I don't think a lot of people actually thought a decade doesn't have to begin and end with a zero. Oh my God, ABBA. Forgot about that.
Yeah.
BT Express, do it till you're satisfied. Whatever it is. But yeah, JJK.
Yeah, you could go from 75 to 85.
Oh my God, New York Dolls, Too Much Too Soon. That's right over there. I should have pulled that. That's an incredible album too. Yeah, I would go 65 to 74. 74 is like the last year of all that great stuff before it starts to kind of go more into everything starts to get everything is still great, but it's a little less excellent. It's pretty good. 75,
Formulaic.
76. Yeah, you start getting a little more corporate, a little more
Yeah,
formulaic.
and you know what happens like in 75, 70, you also start get concerts in stadiums.
Stadium
So
rock
you're
comes
getting,
along.
You're getting stadium rock, and,
Yeah.
the Eagles and the
Funk
and
makes
Elton
way to
John.
disco, which disco is great, but not like funk. I mean, you can listen to funk albums. Disco is like, singles.
Kitty.
Right.
Yeah.
But those are my some of my favorite albums from 1974. There are many more, but I don't have time for all that.
Yes. Well, what a year. Yeah. Talk about editing the lists down
Yeah.
to something that would be more manageable. 74 was also a great year for some interesting news. In January 3rd, Bob Dylan and the band began their 40-date concert tour, and they began at the former Chicago Stadium. Now, this was the old Blackhawks arena, and it was demolished in 1995, and then the United Center was built. But this was Dylan's first tour since 1966.
Is this Rolling Thunder?
Is this Rolling Thunder?
No. This is Rolling Thunder was right after it. It was like, it would be late 74 into 75 mostly, I think. Maybe even 76. I have the Rolling Thunder box set. I'd have to check
That's
the dates. But this was the tour that the album Before the Flood was released, which was also released in 1974. I thought for sure I had this album, and I don't.
Yeah,
I'm like, shit, I need to get it. February 16 is when, after 2 years of litigation, Grand Funk settled with their former manager, Terry Knight. So Grand Funk wins the ability to use the name Grand Funk Railroad, but Terry Knight got all the money. That was kind
rude.
of the settlement with that. February 20th, that's when we talked about Cher. That's when
I was
for
one.
divorce with from Sonny Bono.
On my birthday?
On February 20th, after 10 years, she files for divorce.
Oh my, that's so special.
Yeah.
On my birthday. Happy 1 year birthday to me, Sharon.
There you go. You got something to drink on your birthday.
Yes. Sonny and Cher's divorce. Yes.
Didn't she get married like 6 months later?
I got you, babe. Not anymore.
Not anymore. They're divorced. Well, and he's dead now, but
Well, yes.
She got remarried. She married Dwayne Allman like 6 months later, I think.
Yeah, I don't know how fast that
really
happened, but
Still
probably
paying
was
for
a
that.
whirlwind romance.
Yeah.
April 6th, we briefly mentioned, I think Robert briefly mentioned, the Swedish group ABBA wins the 19th Eurovision Song Contest in the Dome at Brighton, England. And their song was Waterloo.
wow.
And that was the song that kind of kicked off their international career.
Yep.
And turned them into big time. We mentioned Queen. April 16th they played their first North American concert on April 16th. And you know who they opened for? Mott the Hoople. They were the opening act for Mott the Hoople.
Oh.
Now this was kind of interesting to me anyway. May 11th, the New York Police Bagpipe Band performs just after midnight in Portsmouth, Rhode Island at the Ramada Inn. All right. So we're already talking the Ramada Inn. All right. In connection with a National Police Week event, prompting a drunken spree that lasted until dawn by at least a dozen off-duty members of the Boston Police Department. The officers ran naked through the motel, smashing chairs, tables, soiling rugs.
Oh, that's scandalous.
Discharging fire extinguishers, exploding firecrackers, setting off the burglar alarm, disconnecting the security camera, slashing automobile tires, and taking the hanging art from the motel rooms and throwing them out the window. Now, the damage was estimated at just over $1,000, but this was 1974, so $1,000, you know, that was
it would
probably
be $1 million today.
No arrests were made, surprisingly.
Yeah, no arrests.
I mean, anyone who has stayed at a Ramada, that's kind of a normal occurrence, actually.
Yes, especially, you know, it was the Ramada Inn, especially in the 70s. The Ramada Inn in the 70s, that was like the roadway inn of the the expressway.
No, that's pure class. It ain't. I mean, it ain't no Howard Johnson, but I mean that's.
Oh, Howard. Well, you see, at least they had a restaurant.
Yeah, they had a restaurant and really good cream.
So May 25th, this was 25 years after it had already been a hit. It became a hit again. Bill Haley and the Comets with "Rock Around the Clock" because of the movie American Graffiti and also the TV show Happy Days.
Happy Days.
So it jumped back into the Billboard Top 40. Huh. Now, there's some controversy about this one. It's June 5th. Patti Smith records "Hey Joe." This was her debut single. And some people say this was the first punk rock single when it was released in August the same year. You know, I don't know. I'm actually not familiar with that single. I'd have to listen to it to really, you know, decide just how punk it is. But this one I didn't know. I was surprised by this. All right, you know the Jay Giles Band. Peter Wolf, the lead singer. He married Faye Dunaway in 1974 on August 7th.
Really?
I had no idea.
I didn't know that.
And I thought, wow, that's
Robert doesn't believe
kind
it.
of
How
an
long were they
interesting
5
couple.
minutes.
Wow.
Now, here's a lesson that you don't turn down somebody's marriage proposal before you go take a bath. This was October 18th. Al Green is bathing and he's attacked by his girlfriend of just several weeks, a Mrs. Mary Woodson, and she scalds his body with a pan of boiling grits.
Ow.
And then she commits suicide just minutes later after she does this. And what prompted this was that she had proposed marriage to him and that he declined. And then he went to take a bath. So if you're going to decline a marriage proposal, don't go take a bath with the person you just rejected still in your house.
I think he had a long track record of hooking up with bad women.
That wouldn't surprise me.
Peter Wolf and Faye Dunaway were married for 5 years.
Wow.
And
I never knew that.
We kind of talked about this earlier. I think Robert was talking about this. But December 31st, last day of the year, depending on your perception of the situation, this is when Lindsey Buckingham and Stevie Nicks joined Fleetwood Mac.
Oh.
And so just whatever it is, not my favorite era.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Pretty good, though.
Yeah,
well, that one album, you know,
Not my
talk
favorite.
about an album where you could write an album about how fucked up your relationship is with everybody else in the band, and you know, and then you know, do the record and make it into a huge seller. All right, so my honorable mentions, some of them have been mentioned. I've got Graham Parsons with Grievous Age. The honorable mentions are in no particular order. But Grievous Angel, pretty solid. Although I haven't listened to that recording in a while, and it seems to me, I'm not sure if it's a pressing issue, but it kind of sounds shrill to me at times. I don't know. I'll have to listen to it again.
Emmylou Harris on vocals on that too.
Yeah. Oh yes. This one was mentioned. There we go. This is Brian Eno. Here come the Warm Jets. This is Japanese pressing of that. This is the debut of The Residents. Meet the Residents. This was. I'm sorry, I should take these out of my sleeve or whatever. But yeah, this was. They ended up in San Francisco for the most part. Sometimes they're thought of as a San Francisco band, but they are from Louisiana. This one, Loggins and Messina on stage. I mean, I really love this album during, when it came out. I had this, and it's still a good album. I still really like it. Don't listen to it all that much, but I do really love that recording. We talked about
one of the most recognizable spines on any album.
Yeah.
Messina?
Yeah.
Why is it recognizable?
Because it looks like that. You can see that from a mile away.
Yeah.
You can see that somebody has that in their collection.
Yeah. We talked about Mars Hotel, part of the Grateful Dead. Great album. Roxy and Elsewhere, Zappa and the Mothers, really solid release of theirs. However, I have, there was another release much better that I have in my top 10. Now this one, Captain Beefheart, this is Blue Jeans and Moonbeams. Not a well-liked album.
No.
Yeah.
Is that a goat on the cover?
I like this one. I did like this one. I still like it. There's some duds on here, but just from the nostalgia perspective, this is definitely it's an album I will listen to from time to time.
Look, Rocco, there's Daisy.
Fire. Dun, 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 dun.
Oh, I almost got that on my list.
Oh yeah.
So good.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
when you
Almost
walk
on my list.
and talk, really search my phone, you're stealing my phone.
Sorry about all that glare. I should be holding it this way.
The way you
yeah.
walk,
Fire. And their album
wrecks my
covers.
nerves. I'm so
For this
excited.
one, for Honey, their album covers are just
I didn't like that.
they're just salacious.
There we
And
go.
then we mentioned this one too, which in the past, great one, the reissue. I mean, if you manage to get an original, then you got some good shit.
Hundreds.
All right, my top 10. I still like this album, but I don't necessarily like the band so much anymore. This Charlie Daniels, Fire on the Mountain, this was before he went totally redneck, in my opinion. His later material just, I love Charlie Daniels. He's one of the few people that I have seen live at least 3 times.
Oh, wow.
And it was, during this era. And I just loved going to the shows. I loved this album. And I still listen to it from time to time. But after
That
that,
has got the best version of Orange Blossom Special ever.
yeah. But I also like that the closer on here. What is it? It's I can
Orange
never get
Blossom
it.
Special.
That's the closer. Yeah, Orange Blossom Special. New York City King Size Rosewood Bed. I love that song.
Richard likes The South's Gonna Do It Again. That's the opening
Oh.
track. That's his favorite. You can be proud here, be proud to be a rebel, because the South's gonna do it again and again.
Yeah, right.
I don't know that.
That number 9, David Boyd, Diamond Dogs, which was mentioned. So, number 8, Weather Report, Mysterious Traveler. Really, really good album. Love this album. Then this is probably the most accessible, perhaps, Zappa album, Apostrophe. his first album to go gold. However, the album released just before it, Overnight Sensation, also went gold, but this one went gold first. I like Overnight Sensation better than this one, but this is definitely a very solid release with the Yellow Snow Suite, because that is a complete
Everyone knew
suite.
it. Yep.
Yes, really good. Cosmic Debris. Uncle Remus is such a great song as well, about the civil rights movement.
That's the guy in
Uh,
Song of the South.
Uh, you think by the title of the song, Uncle Remus, that he would do some kind of like comedy song, but it's a serious song and very much about the civil rights movement, and especially what Zappa saw during the Watts riots.
There you go.
There in the the LA area. Rush
Yeah.
at number 6. This and Fly By Night to me are the only Rush albums I want to own. Everything else after that, there's a couple of songs, but they were a little too proggy. This was rock and roll, so I didn't mind Geddy Lee so much. But later those first 2 albums have a big story about the Fly By Night tour, but that might be for another time. It was one of those concerts that I never made it through the door. Then we've got Robin Trower, Bridge of Sighs. This was so big in high school. I mean, it was just such an amazing album. Still is an amazing album. And he's been touring, and my God, he's just this side of Oblivion. I mean, he's just he's still playing.
Yeah, he's still playing those songs too.
At number 4,
Relayer
by Yes. This was I knew about Yes, other songs by Yes before this, but I had not listened to any of their albums. This was the first album I listened to. And in fact, the first time I heard it, I was ditching school and we were hanging out at somebody's house, and we were all smoked out, and it was a sunny day, and we had this blaring on the stereo. This is, I've been in love with this album ever since. It is such a great album. God, The Gates of Delirium are just, that's just wonderful, wonderful album. I do have this at number 3. And I acknowledge, in terms of going all the way through, there are some moments that are just, that don't quite match up to,
like what?
And I'm hovering like a fly, waiting for the windshield on the freeway, and then boom, that Mellotron kicks in, and oh my God, that is probably one of the greatest recorded moments, I think, in that. But yeah, overall, this is when you think about it, this was a pretty good description that Peter Gabriel put together of New York City after being there for just a weekend.
Yeah.
But
this album is pretty much solid all the way through, though.
I'm not taking the bait.
It's got to be good because it's gold. Yes, at number 2 is Rock and Roll Animal. There's also the Lou Reed Live, which is taken from the same show, except this one is all Velvet Underground songs, and the Lou Reed Live are all Lou Reed songs, from his solo career. I still don't understand why they did not release the 2 of them together.
Right.
Instead of, and then Lou Reed Live didn't come out until 75, I think.
Because they released that first because they RCA wanted to have versions of Velvet Underground songs on their label, and that's the reason that album came out. It became so successful that then they thought, well, let's release the rest of the concert too on another album. So that's why. But yeah, it
But-
seems like at this point they should put them both together in
Right,
in
and
order of
this
the
era
concert
of
and just-
reissues,
yeah,
what a
Right.
perfect
just
reissue
do the
to
concert,
put together.
you know, in the original order.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely in the original order that they were played, during the
Yeah.
show.
Yeah.
And this was also when what's his name, Steve Hunter, the guitarist, the other guitarist in there. Solid. He kind of, I mean, Lou Reed is no slouch as a guitar player, but Steve Hunter kind of saves Lou Reed in many ways, and brings him forward again. And my number one album, I'm surprised nobody mentioned this one, is this Supertramp, Crime of the Century.
Yeah, I almost mentioned it.
It's not that great.
Well,
not
to
my
me, this is
That's why I didn't mention
this
it.
is such a fabulous album to me. It is, and I always say, this album was way ahead of The Wall. All right, it really talks about some of the same themes that came out in The Wall, and I think it does it so much better. The Wall's a good album. It's a little bit self-indulgent, in my opinion. I mean, I loved it when it was first released.
Oh my god.
But now I think of it as just being Roger Waters glorifying himself, and that's just my take on it. But to me, this one, Crime of the Century, this is a fantastic album all the way through. That's my number one for 1974.
One of the most boring bands I ever seen live.
I could imagine that. Although I've seen a few videos where they didn't seem that boring, but you don't see that many videos of them anymore because I think when they broke up, because of the rights issues, you only see the videos and the songs by, I forget his name, the one who played the keyboards. The other guy,
Roger Hodgson, is
Yeah.
the one with the high voice.
yeah,
And he's a loon. Like, he's still to this day, he's off his rocker. And that's kind of why he left the band.
but you never see anything from the other guy who does
No, never.
like the the one who sings for the song Rudy, or
Yeah, that guy.
or what's the other one? Well,
He had
he's
a
the one
bunch
who
of-
sings "Crime of the Century" as well.
He had a bunch of-
Asylum, the song "Asylum." That guy. You never
Yeah.
see anything from
Oh,
him.
that
So I've
guy.
always wondered there must be some rights issues that are going on with that.
Yeah. Roger Hodgson had a great solo record. I think it might have actually been called Eye of the Storm or something. But the single that came off of it right after he left, I think it was called Crazy. And it was a great song. It sounded exactly like a Supertramp song. But it was a pretty big hit. It went top 10, I think, top 20.
Hmm.
But
Rick
he's
Davies
never
won.
really done anything since.
Yeah.
So a lot of great music from 1974, and now it's time to talk about the opposite end of things with our bottoms from that year.
Okay, I only have 3. Well, I had 4, but I'm not going to do the 4th because somebody already brought it up as a. It doesn't matter.
Yes, it does.
That's
You should
okay.
have
Do
all
it.
4. Yeah.
Do it.
No, it's fine.
Do it.
Oh, come on.
Whatever it is.
Do it.
Are we ready?
Yes.
Do it.
So my bottoms for 1974. Van Morrison had a shitty album out that year, and it called "Feed on Fleece." Terrible one. Terrible album.
Please.
And I wasn't excited about it. Nobody really was. I guess these are kind of disappointments. Maybe more than just like bad records. Ringo Starr had "Goodnight Vienna." Now nobody is expecting Ringo Starr to make a great album, but the album before "Goodnight Vienna" was the Ringo album,
Yeah.
which
Right.
is a good album. It might be a great album.
That's the one
really,
good one.
It's his one good one. So I
Yeah.
think people were a little bit excited, and then he releases "Goodnight Vienna," which is terrible, absolutely terrible. And Deep Purple, I guess I have a love-hate relationship with. I don't think their albums are all that great. Most of them, In Rock is good. The live Made in Japan, that's if you want to listen to a Deep Purple
That's
record,
the only one I have.
that's the only one you need in my book.
Yeah.
That
There's
is
Machine
exactly-
Head too.
That's exactly what Deep Purple is. But Deep Purple released an album called Stormbringer that year. It is
I remember that.
And I wanted to. I went back and I listened to it in the car today. Oh man, it's not good. It's just not good. And yeah, I mean, Deep Purple. I don't know. I don't like any of their studio records really. I mean, In Rock is good, and the first one has Hush on it, which is a great song. But the rest of the album. Oh, and there's also, isn't there a Beatles cover on the first album? I think there's a Beatles cover. It's Help. They do a cover of Help on the first album, which is really good. But other than
Who
that, I mean,
hasn't
just
covered that song?
Huh?
I said, who hasn't covered that song?
Help. Well, they do it. They make it their own. You wouldn't even
Okay.
recognize it.
Okay, guys.
But-
I mean, Tina Turner's done it, Dolly Parton's. I mean,
Yeah,
everybody's
yeah,
done
everyone.
Help.
Yeah.
Does anybody
Banana
know the Susie and the Banshees connection with Deep Purple's Stormbringer album?
Oh no. What?
The tornado on the front cover is the same picture that's on the cover of Susie and the Banshees Tinderbox album. It's just reversed.
Oh,
It's an actual old photo. It's like it's like historically like the first photograph that's ever been taken of a tornado. I think it's from like the 20s.
Really?
And yeah. So it's the same tornado,
Look at
same
that.
photograph as
reverse.
Susie and the Banshees Tinderbox.
The music still sucks.
Learn something new.
What? Yeah. So those are my bottoms.
What's the other one?
Yeah, you had
I
four.
can't, I'm not. Well,
Do it.
Buffett.
you know what,
It's
you want to
Buffett.
know what it is, really?
Yeah.
It's Jimmy Buffett.
Yeah.
No, it's not Jimmy. But I like that record. I actually I really like that record. It might be. It's Only Rock and Roll by the Rolling Stones.
Oh, see, that's okay that you don't like that.
My mother bought me that.
No, wait.
I mean, it's chicken soup,
It's
so I mean, it's
Yes,
that's
for my
sweet.
soul.
but-
It's a good album, but it's not their greatest for
It's-
sure.
It.
I will say that it has a
listen to
hard cardboard inner sleeve, so that's pretty bad. That can ruin the record.
Get that hard cardboard. Yeah.
Just not one of my favorite Rolling Stones records. I don't think it holds up great,
Hmm.
but you know, whatever.
It's okay.
Next.
That's
Correct.
me.
Yeah,
I just have three. So I hate this song, and I know a lot of people really love it. So I'm sorry if I'm offensive. And I did double check it was released this year because sometimes I'm wrong. I really, 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 really.
Is this going to be kung fu fighting?
No, I love
Okay.
that.
Yeah,
song.
man, that's a great song.
I
Okay.
really hate Free Bird by Leonard Skinner. I
guess
don't like it.
As a single, I guess it was released at
It was
74.
released in 1974 as a single. I double checked it.
Yeah, I could probably.
In
agree.
November of 1974 to be exact. I don't like it. And I also do not like Pretzel Logic.
Oh, that's right.
Steely
Pretzel
Dan.
Yeah.
No, thank you, ma'am.
The album
And
or the
probably-
song? I don't even know that they had a song.
Album and the song,
The album
whatever.
came out in
It's silly,
74. Yeah, none
whatever.
of us mentioned it.
Ricky, don't lose that
and
number's
then
okay, but
what?
I said Ricky, don't lose that number's okay.
Well, that song's okay, but
could
yeah,
leave the rest of the album. Fine.
yeah, I don't need. I don't.
That's a
need
great
Steely Dan.
song.
Yeah.
I do kind of like the Ricky number, but again, the song, the
The only
word-
thing you need to own.
Ray Stevens, The Streak. I don't think I need to say anything else.
Oh my God! Oh my God! Why did you
Yeah.
remind me of that?
I really don't. I really
That's a
don't
lot
need
of
to say
comps.
anything else, right? That's
I liked that song when I was like, I think I
Yeah.
was two
two.
or three.
Yeah, I might have
No,
liked
seriously,
it.
it
I
was one
don't
of the
know.
first.
Yeah.
It was one of the first 45s I ever had. That was a new 45 from the store.
I had it
And,
on
you know,
45.
It's got the guy
Absolutely.
screaming Ethel. It's got a whistle in it. It's got, and I had no idea what was going on. I was
Oh
3
my,
years
a
old,
whistle.
3 years old.
It's
Yeah, I had it on 45.
garbage.
Terrible.
Barnaby Records.
Yeah.
The
Can't
label
even
has a
whistle
tree
anymore.
with a melting record on it. Anyway, so those are all three.
That's it.
I'm done. I'm over.
I have a few. They're not in any kind of particular order. There was a song called "Once You Understand" by the organization called Think. It's one of those spoken word songs. It's just talking all the way through. And it's supposedly this generation gap song, and this young person talking to their parents or something like that, trying to get mom and dad to understand the hip kids of today. It would have worked a lot better in like 1968 or something, but anyway, yeah, you have that. Before I mentioned Kiss's debut and how they had to add the song "Kissin' Time" on it. Terrible song. That was the single. One of the singles. The first single was "Nothing to Lose," but "Kissin' Time" was the single, and they had to put it on the album. Terrible remake of some, I think, Bobby Rydell song. Horrible for Kiss to do that. Dickie Goodman is back. We've talked about him before. He's the guy that takes the snippets of the songs and makes a comedy song out of it.
Jaws.
He had a couple this year. One of them was "Mr. President."
Oh yeah.
You have Smokey Robinson with a song called "Virgin Man." Could you ever love a virgin man? I'm a virgin man. I've never tasted that sweet honey. I'm a virgin man.
What?
People think I might be a little funny. Yeah. Can you imagine Smokey Robinson singing a song like that? Well, you don't have to because he did. You can hear it.
Well,
Virgin Man.
I heard his
Well,
most
that's
recent.
okay. I'll pass
Yes,
that.
most
Right,
recent.
and with his most recent album, it's like, who is this? First of all, he's a virgin man. And
Now
when
he's having
in
orgasms.
his sexual prime. Now he's having orgasms, and I don't know
And
what.
he's 82.
Oh,
and he's
82.
The title of the album is called Gasms.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, gas.
And all you have to do is read the titles of the songs. It's horrendous. And an 82-year-old, well, whatever. He can do whatever. he wants.
Go ahead, Smokey.
It's also been a bad dude as
I'm
well.
82, and you're going to get 82.
Oh,
So everybody get in line.
Oh man, he's got it going on.
The
Okay.
Nitty Gritty Dirt Band redid one of the worst songs of all time, Johnny Horton's Battle of New Orleans. My God, I hated that song. The first time around, we did not need the Nitty Gritty Dirt Band to cover it.
I didn't
It's
know
this
they did it.
sing-songy, children's-sounding song that makes a joke out of people dying in war. I hated that song since I was a little. I fired once more and they began running. And always was funny as it was a while ago. We fired once more and they began to run it. I cannot fucking stand that song.
I never liked the Nitty Gritty Dirt Band anyway.
Yeah, I never really.
I thought they were okay. I liked Mr. Bojangles, but at least that song has some
Oh,
reference.
jingles.
There's a song called Sugarloaf. They were the band that had Green Eyed Lady. That's a decent song with a nice guitar riff. They had a song follow-up called Don't Call Us, We'll Call You. And it's about how none of the record labels would talk to them until they had that big hit, and now they're wanting to call them and make deals. Well, don't call us now, we'll call you. See how the reversal of fortune happened. It's really terrible.
No one, and guess what? No one calls.
Right, because they were a one-hit wonder, and they do little pieces of other songs in it, like "Satisfaction" and "I Feel Fine" and Beatles.
Green Eyed Lady's a great song.
Yeah,
Green Eyed Lady, that's not Green Eyed Lady, lovely lady.
yeah.
Oh, that's a good
I remember that song. I love that song. Yeah. That,
Yeah, so that you don't want to hear the follow-up then called "Don't Call Us,
Okay.
We'll Call You." There was a country crossover from Melba Montgomery called "No Charge." It was a trend too, along with the talking songs, of having a little child in your song and having a conversation with the child. Like George and Georgette Jones had a song like that. Bobby Bear had a song with Bobby Bear Jr., Daddy What If. And Melba Montgomery had No Charge. I don't know if it's her daughter or just some girl, but she's supposed to be her daughter in the song. And she's like, Mommy, since I cleared the table, that'll be 10 cents. For cleaning my room,
So
15 cents. For mowing the lawn, 25 cents. And, she's making a checklist.
Undercharging, by the way.
Yeah, she wants to charge her mother for doing all the chores. And her mother turns around and goes,
Well,
for the times I stayed up with you and held you until the nightmares went away, no charge. And for the times I took you to school and for the times I wiped your tears away, no charge. Because when it's real love, there's no charge. And it's just like, lady, the little girl wants an allowance. Get real. Give her a fucking
No
goddamn
charge.
dollar. Are you kidding
Like
me?
No, I'm
battery.
sorry. No
Trying
charge.
to put a
Bitch,
guilt
mow the
trip on your
lawn.
little fucking girl. Come on.
No charge.
No charge.
No
And
charge.
then it ends with the
bitch.
little
I
girl
didn't
goes,
get an
and then
allowance.
she took the letter and she just wrote on it, paid in full.
Oh my!
Oh my god.
No
Paid in
charge from
full.
Melba
No
Montgomery.
charge. Thank you, Melba. She ain't no Melba Moore.
Two more, the Osmonds, coming back with another friggin' cover song because it's like they sit in a meeting and go, what are some songs we can ruin? I know. How about the R&B song Love Me for a Reason from their album where they're on the cover all looking like pimps. They're all dressed in like pimp clothes. It's ridiculous. The Osmonds just coming along. And whoever said, do you remember the trend that was going on like 2 years ago when everybody had discovered that Crazy Horses song? It's like, oh my God, there's this Osmond song. It's better than Black Sabbath. It's better than Led Zeppelin. It's better than Nazareth.
Oh,
and
I
it's
wouldn't
like,
say that,
it's
but-
got a guitar hook on it.
Maybe
It's
better
called
than
Crazy. And finally that went away. Thank God. I'm surprised it didn't get followed up with, oh my God, have you heard Love Me for a Reason? It's better than Al Green. It's better than,
It is.
ridiculous. And finally,
Finally.
we have Tanya Tucker and The Man That Turned My Mama On.
Ah! Good.
We discussed this song earlier on somebody's tops list. I'm assuming the other two are not familiar
It was
with it.
an honorable mention, by the way.
Oh my
but-
God. I wish I would have known the man that turned my mama on. He must have been a hell of a man because she's talking about her father.
Yes, she never met him.
That's who
For
turned
5
her
minutes,
mama on.
yeah.
That's the way she sees her father in this song, as a man who's gone away. The man that turned my mama on.
Yeah.
What the hell kind of... And of course, it's
Turned her on
Tanya
and
Tucker
birthed her.
on
So this would
Columbia
be
in
a
1974. So she's like 13 years old
Yeah.
singing this.
She's like 13. Yeah.
Oh
this,
my God.
This would be a song that Beverly Leslie should have done for Sordid Lives.
It should be the kind of song that I'd go
Nope,
into a
don't
record
do it.
store
Oh
Don't
no!
and
This
say,
guy's
hey, y'all got
bad.
that song with that little 12-year-old girl wanting to
This guy's
think
bad.
about her daddy turning her mama on while she's sitting in the bathtub?
God, I hate this character.
Oh no!
Okay,
no,
Cletus.
no, not this. I don't like that guy.
I don't like
Y'all
it.
got that Tanya Tucker. I wish
Not my
Finally, a
friend.
song about an appropriate relationship between a daddy and a daughter.
La 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 la. La 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 la.
Daddy and her
La
daughter.
la 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 la.
I'd lay with her in a
That's pretty.
Fieldstone. We could talk about her daddy. I'd turn her mama on and I'd turn her out. Good old Tanya Tucker, motherfucker. Woo!
Oh God, Jesus Lord, stop! La 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 la. I'm just
He
gonna
wouldn't
do
come
that, right?
around if there weren't songs like that. The man that turned my mama on, 13-year-old Tanya Tucker singing about her father. Ridiculous. I don't even.
Is
I'm
that
gonna-
your number one?
Well, they weren't in order, but that might as well be the number one. Yes.
I love
It's
that you do more
Tanya.
research on your
I
bottoms
love
and tops.
Tanya.
Well, because I know the top song. I mean, I don't sit around and listen to songs I don't like. Let's see. The
No,
man
none of us do.
That
None of us do.
Well,
Turned
my
my
bottom is
mama
kind of one that I used to
I'm
listen to
listening.
a lot.
What's wrong, Craig?
What was Craig just went under the table?
He went under the table.
He's
He
been
dropped, he dropped a chip.
I dropped my cap,
Oh.
and I love this pen, and I don't want it to dry out. So go ahead.
So you get
Oh.
to tell us what year we're gonna do next.
well. No,
No,
I get to
you
tell
gotta-
you what
you
my
still-
bottom is.
You gotta let Richard
God.
tell
Yeah.
us
I
what.
thought we were.
Well,
after
Mikey
that,
just
I was
trying
ready
to just
call it a
erase
night.
Richard there, huh? Wow. What a man.
Jesus. Well,
Rude.
my bottom is one that I used to really like. They used to play this album on a
I see what
radio station, you know, WLAV FM, I think it was, out of Grand Rapids. They would play albums all the time. So I was in high school living in this, you know, rural area. I would tune in that radio, put my headphones on, listen to the radio show at night, and they would play this album really frequently. And I really liked it. And then a couple years ago, I saw the record in a store and I bought it. I said, oh, wow, I remember this record. And I took it home and I listened to it and I went, what the fuck? Did I really like this?
Yep.
Yeah, Todd Rundgren's Utopia. Oh my God. Talk about bloated, self-indulgent. I mean, wow. I think I played this twice since I bought it, and it just, yeah. Because I had to listen to it a second time to convince myself, is it really this bad? And yes, it is.
Actually, you could fill in any Utopia album, actually. It could be any of their records.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, truly, when I was like, 1974, what was I? I was 16 years old. So, at that time, I thought it was great, especially listening to it at night, on the headphones. But wow. Yeah. So this is an album that for me did not hold up. And is anybody out there who wants it, I'll give it to you. Jesus.
No, thank you. I loved
Restore
Utopia in junior
fun.
high and high school. I loved their records. But man, I went back and revisited the one that has like the triangle.
Oh yeah, I know that one. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God. What was I listening to? That is not a good record. But man, when I was 15, 16 years old, I loved that. But man, none of their records hold up. None of them. Adventures in Utopia, the one that has like a pill on the cover, that's a terrible album. They're all bad.
I don't know that much about them. I don't know if I've ever actually
Yeah.
heard one of those albums. All the
They
way
were
through.
proggy,
I have
but
not.
they were very.
Yeah.
They were almost new wave-ish, but they were prog also. So there was just a lot of time changes, and they were, and
A lot of
Rundgren was
synths,
very
very
intense.
synthy.
Yeah, very synthy. Yeah.
All right, so those are our tops and bottoms of 1974. What were some of your tops and bottoms of 1974? And of course, we have that playlist going, and if I can remember, I'll put some of the bottoms on there so
Yeah,
you can hear
do
for
it.
yourself. Virgin Man from Smokey Robinson and No Charge from Melba Montgomery, and of
I
course,
love No
Tanya
Charge.
Tucker, the man that turned my mama on.
But Mama was a lady, don't you know?
Oh,
Yeah,
Sure.
so that's why she
Come
fucked
on.
the traveling salesman and forgot what the
Well,
grandma told
whatever.
her.
And then
Oh
but
my
he
God.
turned her mama on. She was a good Christian woman that was a whore later. But are you
I thought
So what year are we doing next?
1998?
You'll definitely want to be here for that. Also, we've got
Everyone want to
our
be here for
album
that.
review of The Clash, London Calling, that Mike picked.
yeah.
That's all coming up and a lot more, so be here for it. We've also got a game we're going to play coming up at one point. Our first
Yeah.
game we'll play
Yeah,
with
okay.
each other.
Yes.
That's on the way, too.
That's dirty.
You can play along as well. We are the Vinyl Community Guncles. I'm Robert Fitton, along with
Richard at Calvin Wazoo.
Craig's Vinyl Plethora.
Mike at Hub Tunes.
Thank you so much for watching.
Thank you.